Greetings and welcome to another Pokémon Horizons The Series anime episode preview discussion. This time I'm talking about the preview for episode 67, so let's get to it. In this episode, the Terastal Debut Arc, the Terastal course itself, the tournament meant to conclude it, and Liko and Friends' time at Naranja Academy will all come to an end with an epic showdown between Liko and Roy as part of said tournament. Now, Clavel said in episode 66 that the tournament would be 1v1. However, this is not the case with Liko and Roy's battle, since the preview shows that they will use both of their Pokémon. Perhaps Clavel meant 1v1 in terms of the number of trainers, which is odd since this is expected. Or maybe what he said is accurate, but for Liko and Roy's battle, they decided to make it be 2-on-2, so it's more special. Whatever the case may be, I'm glad that Hattrem and Kilowattrel will get another chance to battle. Not only because of how badly they did during the implementation test, but also because obviously the battle will be much more exciting. Judging by the preview, Floragato will face both Fuecoco and Kilowattrel, while Hattrem will face only Kilowattrel, and it seems she might be defeated. Close-up shots like this of a Pokémon looking at an incoming attack with a look of impending doom usually results in a knockout for said Pokémon. So perhaps Liko and Roy will begin with Hattrem and Kilowattrel respectively. Hattrem will lose, Floragato will defeat Kilowattrel, then everything will come down to Floragato versus Fuecoco. If this is the case, I will be sad for Hattrem but happy for Kilowattrel. It will definitely leave me feeling conflicted. Now, before we get to the most important question we have to address in this discussion, I want to point out three things. First, Floragato is seen kicking Fuecoco with a dark aura surrounding her foot. This has to be a new move she will learn in this episode, right? She only kicks her opponents when using acrobatics or quick attack, and this is clearly neither of these, since they don't look like this. As for what move she will learn, well, this dark aura can only mean a dark type move or a ghost type move. Considering what Floragato evolves into, I'm leaning more towards the former. However, the dark type moves Floragato can learn are Bite, Hone Claws, Fake Tears, Fling, Taunt, Nasty Plot, and Sucker Punch. Most of these are status moves, which this here is clearly not. The only offensive ones are Bite, this is obviously not Bite, Fling, this is obviously not Fling either, and the Sucker Punch, which is the only one it can be. Though of course, this is a kick, not a punch, but in the anime, Sucker Punch has never been depicted as an actual punch. So this is my prediction, even if it's a move that does not suit Liko given her personality. As for ghost type moves, Floragato can only learn one, Shadow Claw, which I can see this being. Though again, since Meowscarada is a dark type Pokemon, it would be much more fitting if Floragato learns a move of that type. The second thing I want to point out is that Rhyme will cheer Liko and Roy from the front row with her rapping, and she will rally the students to her cause. This isn't anything significant, of course, it's just something fun that I wanted to mention. The final thing I want to bring up before moving on to the all-important question is that it seems Arven will make his Horizons debut in this episode. If we take a closer look at this scene right here, we see Nemona, Penny, and someone that has the same hairstyle and hair color as Arven, who is cleverly hidden. Considering that Nemona and Penny play the same role as Arven in the games, which is to say that they are important friends of the player character that play a key role in the story, it makes perfect sense to have him here with his co-stars. However, considering that this arc will end in this episode, I doubt Arven will have much to do or say unless Horizons returns to Paldea in the future. Which it very well might, since Area 0 is key to Terapagos, and the explorers now possess information on this. Arven might get to reprise his role from the games alongside Nemona and Penny of charging into Area 0 with the protagonist. Now with all of this out of the way, it's finally time to answer the biggest and most important question. Who will win? Liko or Roy? Well, this is a tricky and difficult conundrum. On paper, Roy has the upper hand, since both of his Pokemon have the type advantage over Floragato and they resist grass to boot. Moreover, if Hattrem does fall, Roy will also have the edge in terms of numbers, so things don't look good for Liko. Though Floragato learning a new move does tip the scales a little in her favor. However, in terms of skill level, I think Liko and Roy are pretty evenly matched. It would be difficult to place one over the other in this category, especially since they both defeated an Explorer admin, which further proves that they are on a similar level. Therefore, neither has the advantage here. When it comes to strategy, Liko is better at coming up with clever tactics, but Roy is better at thinking on his feet, smartly adapting and reacting to what his opponent does. So again, I cannot determine a winner here. In terms of power, Floragato edges out Fuecoco since she is evolved. But again, she will be at a distinct disadvantage that might erode her greater strength. So yeah, I honestly cannot predict who will win. I think a draw might be the most plausible and ideal result. It would realistically depict that this is an even matchup, where either side could conceivably win. It would ensure that things are not awkward between them post-battle, since neither will taste defeat. It won't upset fans of either character, and no one will be able to argue about the result, trying to determine if it was right or not, if it was believable or not. It will also maintain the status quo between Liko and Roy. They both want to be stronger and neither wants to lose. Having one win would kind of settle the pseudo-rivalry they have going on very early on, relatively speaking, reducing the drive to become better, hoping to win next time from both sides, which is not good for future development and growth. I think it's in the best interest of this series to keep this dynamic going on for as long as possible. Considering that the title of the episode includes Shine Terastal, and given what this arc, course, and tournament are about, especially since they are about to end, Liko and Roy will both use Terastal. A final clash of Terastal boosted moves that results in both Pokemon being knocked out is something I can very much see happening. So yeah, I think we are in for a draw. Now as for my personal feelings, meaning who do I want to see take the W, well, I would give it to Liko. Not only because I do like her more than Roy, though just to be clear, I love both of them, but also because she deserves it more, since this arc has been quite rough on her. Episode 66 did finally give her a taste of glory and success, but she could stand to receive some more. Now, unlike with previous questions like this one, I decided to put up a poll well before making the preview discussion, so that I can include the results in it to illustrate how you guys feel and what you think. This way, it's not just my voice the one that is heard. Here's what we got so far. Thank you to everyone who voted. As you can see, Liko winning currently has the most votes, with a draw being very close behind. Though I cannot say how many people think Liko will win and how many want her to win. Judging by the comments, there is clearly a little bit of both. Speaking of the comments, I did see someone mentioning that Fuecoco could evolve in this battle, which will obviously upset the balance. Fuecoco will indeed evolve very soon, but will it be in this battle? I don't think so. If he does, then I don't see Liko winning. But again, I doubt it will happen because the next arc is called Rayquaza Rising. A rematch with Rayquaza would be a more fitting stage for Fuecoco to evolve. But we will just have to wait and see. But yeah, that's the preview. It goes without saying, of course, that I'm definitely looking forward to this episode. Fingers crossed that it will be something spectacular that will thrill us and that will be a great way to end this arc with a bang. Let's also hope it won't leave us feeling bitter or disappointed. Episode 67 will air on September 27, and as always, I will review the episode once it does air, so please stay tuned for that. But that's the video. Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and click the links on screen to see my recent episode reviews. I will see you over there. Thank you so very much for watching.